Chris Murphy flounders after being confronted with video evidence of his past government shutdown opposition. The Democrat Party is full of hypocrisy, and they act like we don't have the internet, and the internet isn't forever, and we can't pull receipts. They were against the shutdown when they were in power. Now they're for the shutdown, and then you got the same thing with AOC. She was against the filibuster when they were in charge. Now that they're not in charge, she's for the filibuster, and we can pull the receipts and show the hypocrisy. And they're getting blasted on the internet, and rightfully so. It's so bad, even mainstream media is calling them out on this hypocrisy. So we're gonna play the clip of that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Daily Caller. We're going to play the clip in a minute. The Daily Caller reports that Democrat Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy quickly backtracked on his support for a government shutdown Sunday after being confronted by NBC host Kristen Welker about his past opposition on the subject. Before a handful of Senate Democrats helped push the GOP-backed spending bill through, several Democrats advocated for lawmakers to block the bill, which would have resulted in a government shutdown by early Saturday morning. While discussing his disapproval of the bill with Welker on Meet the Press, Murphy argued that Americans, quote, would have understood the need for Democrats to push for a shutdown. But remember how they would say, it basically say it's the end of the world when they were in power just a few years ago, when they were saying, it'd be the end of the world, government, people relying on government wouldn't be funded and people would die and all these other things they were saying. But then when the fast forward a couple of years, and now all of a sudden they're for government shutdowns. I mean, the hypocrisy is right in your face. However, moments later, Welker played multiple clips of Murphy opposing government shutdowns in 2019 and 2023, during which the senator claimed, quote, it's hard to explain the ramifications of a shutdown, but they're enormous, prompting her to ask, what changed? Like I said, I'm super surprised that the mainstream media is calling them out on this. So let's play the clip here. Here we go.
You have spoken forcefully in the past, actually, against shutting down the government. I want to play a little bit of that sound for you. Take a look.
This is just no time to be playing around with people's lives. We need to start acting like adults. We need to start doing the job that we were sent here to do. Because our nation's security is at stake. It's hard to explain the ramifications of a shutdown, but they're enormous. Head Start programs won't open. Soldiers won't get paid for defending this country. The consequences are absolutely devastating.
And yet you...
So we saw that. So we saw that. Let me rewind this a little bit. So we saw him talk about how dire things would be. I mean, they are so fake. Democrats are so fake. So let's fast forward a couple years later to today, and now all of a sudden he's for the shutdown. Let's hear his explanation.
Explain the ramifications of a shutdown, but they're enormous. Head Start programs won't open. Soldiers won't get paid for defending this country. The consequences are absolutely devastating.
And yet you say Americans would have understood this time. What changed, Senator?
Listen, I don't think Americans would have understood, but they would have understood why we got there. If you are the majority party, you have an obligation to negotiate with the minority. Republicans refused to do that. Again, never before has a spending bill been written by only one party. And at this moment, when the president is acting...
Well, let me rewind. I'll rewind a little bit again. Why was it only written by one party? It was written only by one party because Democrats refused to come to the table. That's what they're leaving out. I mean, they're so disingenuous, so fake, and you can call them out on everything that they stand for. You can look a couple years back, and they had the absolute opposite position. So fake. So fake. I don't know why anyone can be behind the Democrat Party in 2025. It makes no sense to me for anyone to be a Democrat unless you're a crazy person. That'd be the only way you are a Democrat.
understood why we got there. If you are the majority party, you have an obligation to negotiate with the minority. Republicans refuse to do that. Again, never before has a spending bill been written by only one party. And at this moment, when the president is acting so unconstitutionally, it just seems like the absolute wrong time to give him these new powers. Listen, I understand.
How is he acting unconstitutionally? Please explain that to me. How is he acting unconstitutionally? You didn't say nothing about the unconstitutionality of Biden doing executive orders. Everything was fine when Biden got in office, and he was with a stroke of a pen getting opening up the borders for illegal immigrants to come in. You guys said nothing about that, but now the Republicans have the power now, and Trump is in office. There's a problem with it. Now it's unconstitutional. Again, we have receipts. This is not the olden times where you could just say something and we can't check and show that show your hypocrisy.
To do that. Again, never before has a spending bill been written by only one party. And at this moment, when the president is acting so unconstitutionally, it just seems like the absolute wrong time to give him these new powers. Listen, I understand that a no vote was a risk, right? But I think the American public right now want us to stand up, Democrats to stand up and take some risks. Every single day, the president is engaging in exceptional tactics, in risk-tolerant behavior. And I don't think you save the republic and save our democracy by playing it straight and maintaining norms when the president is shattering them every single day.
You know, Speaker.
Wow. So fake. So fake. Oh my gosh. Democrats have appeared to flip-flop on their stances, such as opposing the filibuster and a government shutdown when pushing back on the recent spending bill that passed the Senate on a 62-38 vote. Avoiding a filibuster, 10 Democrats, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, joined Republicans to push the bill through on Friday, prompting calls within the party for new Senate leadership. They are calling to get rid of Chuck Schumer. It is hilarious to see. Now all of a sudden they got a problem with Chuck Schumer. As Democrats have continued to struggle since President Donald Trump's election win to unify behind a single message, that's because their message is all over the place and they believe that men can get pregnant. That's the litmus test there. and most reasonable people know that it's idiocracy that's going on within the Democrat Party. So they lost so many people behind that transgender stuff. And in fact, CNN did a poll. They actually talking about it. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know they were going to bring up CNN poll, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it now. Let me just read it. I was going to talk about the poll, and they happened to bring it up in this article. I didn't know that. But a recent CNN poll. I just saw the poll today. Recent CNN poll shows the party has hit a new low in approval ratings. According to CNS SSRS poll, Democrats now have a 29% favorability rating, a drop of 20 points since January 2021. Democrats are very unpopular. They're all over the place, and they believe men can have babies. Men can be pregnant. This is why they're going to lose, because they keep curtailing to the far loony part of the party, and the loony part of the party has taken over, and they cannot go back towards the middle anymore. There are no more moderates within the Democratic Party. If they are, they will become attacked, and so that's why I believe this is the end. This is the beginning of the end of the Democrat Party. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.